I want to be clear about a couple of things I said yesterday, and maybe it's also Haftarah for a few things. Is we're discussing about Koch Nefesh and things about saving people who are Jewish and things. These are all what's called theoretical halacha. Meaning it's not practical. Sometimes they'll bring in shitas and discussions and Shulchan Aruch, whatever, which halacha l'maisa we're not knowing. But just to make it clear, these things are more of a theoretical halacha discussion because you have to weigh Chilul Shabbos. Chilul Shabbos is weighed with any sort of Pikuach Nefesh, and the question is how the mechanics work. Why is it mutter or not? Whatever. And sometimes we'll bring in more theoretical things. This is also done. We can touch upon a few issues I think today, which are more theoretical, but it's interesting to see the shitas. For knowledge and to be delved into further. Fine. Zayin. Avlad shenoilad shin lamed siv zayin. Avlad shenoilad osin lo kol tzracha. The child who was born to do whatever it needs. Marchitzim oso, molchim oso, whatever they used to do. I don't think they, whatever they, bring them to the incubator, whatever. I don't, they wash them and
hot water baths,
whatever they do in the nursery for kids. That's what you do. Tolim ashilya k'sheicham avlad, and whatever that's tomin. I don't know what the shilya, whatever they used to do. Choisin as a tabor, you cut the cord. How do you really benola l'tisha l'shiva? So this is talking about a baby who was nolad l'tisha l'shiva. Now we're going to get into a discussion which comes up often about a vlad which is nolad l'shmona, which according to Chazal was
at least back in the day.
According to Chazal, in the Gemara it says that a ben nolad l'shmona, safek ben shiva, safek ben shmona ein michalin alav. For some reason, another the Shiva was known to survive. I guess it was a known thing. There were some kids who were just born early and they were fine. Obviously, another the Teisha, in the 9th month is also, considered fine. But a Ben Shmona generally didn't make it. For whatever reason, it wasn't developed. That was a premature baby, and unless it's like nails and hair were developed, usually the baby would die. I think the Chiddush is not the Ben Shmona. I think the Chiddush is the Ben Shiva. Is why is Ben Shiva considered a Ben Shachayama? According to modern medicine, it's it's still considered premature. Actually, back then things were different. Ben Shmona, I understand because babies born early. Nowadays you have prenatal care and things and whatever, and premature, the preemie ward and things like that, so they help babies survive even from very young. So Al Kapanim, question is babies born very young, so then the question, the general thing is Mechalim because, we could Mechal Shabbos on a kid who could possibly live. We're not Mechal Shabbos for a nafil, for a fetus which is considered a nafil, which is not, also might live for a couple of days, whatever it is, we're not, and we know it's not going to live because it's not developed enough and there's no way, so then we're not Machal Shabbos for that. Again, it goes according to the general halacha. General medicine, medicine nowadays. The one interesting, side point about discuss is why, is at what point do you not call a child a nafil? At what point do you save a child? So the shita of the Shulchan Aruch is the shita of the Rambam, which is also brought up by if a mother's life is endangered, do you kill a child or not, whatever. And the Rambam says kill the fetus. The Rambam says that you do because he's a roidef. But because we can't, it's also to kill a unborn child, because it's also, but if it's the mother dying, you have the choice between two lives. So then obviously you pick the life of the mother because he's considered a rodef. The Birulacha brings, Megon Abram brings, and the Kiveva expands upon it as Shittas and Ramban. Again, this is more theoretical, but the Ramban says that there's no issue. The reason why you if a woman's life is in danger, you would go ahead and you would pick her life over the life of the unborn, is because really there's no problem. The unborn is not alive. It's Shitas Ramban and Torah Sa'ada. He said one of the reason why you're Mechal Shabbos, it could be Mechal Shabbos to say a woman's having some pregnancy issues and stuff, whatever. The Ramban says it's because it's bitam that that you Mechal Shabbos ahas they should that they should leash for Shabbos is harbe. That the future the child will be born, he'll keep Shabbos then. So therefore the klal is Mechal Shabbos now in order for the child to keep many Shabbosos. Kibeger over here brings the Ramban over here. And discuss about why is it when the baby is getting born, what's the difference? And so the Kibeger explains the Ramban that well, the child's in the womb, it's not considered alive, but once it goes out, once it goes into the birth canal, so that's considered like it's already been born. It's just in a different area. That's according to the Rambam. Again, this is more theoretical, just interesting discussion, to talk about. But the life of Shulchan Aruch passes like the Rambam, and I don't know of any actual nafkaminas with the Ramban, but I thought it's an interesting thing to know different shitas.
But after the baby crowns, the
Rambam holds that you right.
Then you can't
right.
do anything.
Right, that's okay. Right. Just an interesting point because the according to discuss over here. No, Lishmona or Safek ben Shiva. The child was born Lishmona or Safek ben Shiva or ben Shmona. Shulgar Musar v'Tziporim. You don't know if it's ben Shmona. Then it's hard to know exactly when conception was. You don't know if it's hair or whatever or complete asul taltalo. And it could be it's a nafel, then it's muksa. But imo sheikha alone and ikaso, but the mother can go ahead and nurse it a tzara chalosh of a tzara. We're talking about a case where the son even don't think that it's going to make it, whatever it is. The woman's still allowed to go ahead and manic so that she can see a tzara from milk from her milk. This is a general halacha. Even not when she has a nafel, but if a woman who is bitzar because the baby won't nurse properly or different things, or she gets engorged, then she is allowed to go ahead and even to pump milk. But they say it has to be leibud. We mentioned before the lachashem tzricha lagufa. So therefore, they put a lot of times they make an eitzah. The should express down the sink, or if it's a pub, she puts like vinegar in the cup or some sort of soap or something like that, which then whatever milk goes in is the ibud, and it's just to relieve her engorgement. Miyashim Eve Alei of Vlad and Sparku, Machasar Leda, you're allowed to straighten out the baby, it's a tikkun, whatever, that you're allowed to do on Shabbos. Muta the karcham of Gadav, Shlois Akru, you can swallow the child so it doesn't, the body stays straight. Nafla Orlas Grona Havlad, if I don't know what you call it, the thing in the back of the throat. There's a official name for it. It starts clogging its throat. Mutter l'sum etzba l'sochpiv l'salik l'orla l'nkoima. You're allowed to clog its throat. V'shipa'amim shemekia, and we say mekia is like a refuah. But alkopanim, in this case, it's.
You said you're allowed to use a finger to do.
You're allowed to, right? So that's the thing. That's right, but this is how it could be the child's not b'tzar, and it could be not b'sakana, and it could be, I don't know. You're right. I don't know. It is a kasha. I don't know. I'm saying Shilam and Aleph, and this is Dine Mila, Mila on Shabbos. Oisin kol tarchei Mila b'Shabbos. The halacha is that we do all tarchei Mila on Shabbos. Molim uparim motzim and osin love kamal. The reason is that the drasha in Parshat Sazriya, the lichish ki Sazriya, the charvi yimol yom hashmini, whatever that lashon is, that the pasuk says basically that a woman who gives birth, you're allowed to go yom hashmini, and the Chazal Darash yom hashmini even if it's Shabbos. And so therefore, you do all the things that need to be done for regular Mila, Purim, Mutzim, Nosin, Love Kamon, which They used to put kamon on, which is cumin for healing, whatever things it needs to heal. You do that, and that's mutter. And that's even though you have you're cutting and there's sheichet and the tzitza and all these things. These are malachas d'oraisa. These are all mutter. Beis kol zman shelo silik yomi in a mila. As long as he's still doing mila, choizer afila tzitzin she'enu ma'akvim. Now there's little pieces of skin. I mean, I'm not a moil, but there's little pieces of skin that are left over sometimes from the orla, from the priya, that they cut off. Now on Shabbos, if you're still cutting off the orla, you're still in the act, you can go back and cut off those little bits. Silik yodo, but if he stopped and realized, oh wait, I missed something, einu choizer el tzitzin ma'akvim, you don't have to go back to the tzitzin ha'ma'akvim. These are the things which are ma'akiv and mila. He's not considered mal, not considered until these are cut. Basar chayfe, afila rov gover shel atara b'makom echad. If any part of the tip is covered most of the way, so that if the bone missed down the first time, then he has to go back and cut that off for it to be considered a good milah. So therefore, on Shabbos that's mutter. But any other little bits, if it's not rove, if it's still covering a bit, and he stopped the milah, so then on Shabbos you can't go back and do that. Ben Shmona Ingamru Sa'ara B'Tziparna. We're going back to the thing of Ben Shmona, that a Ben Shmona who's if he's fully developed, Malinos of the Shabbos, and we are Mal B'Shabbos. The Imlo Gamro. However, if it's not, a feel imu safek ben shiva, safek ben shmona, eimal zo b'Shabbos. The general rule by Mila on Shabbos is if there's any real safek, we just don't do it on Shabbos, because you can do it the day after. So you won't get the mitzvah Yom HaShmini, you'll do it on Yom Tisha. And then generally we're going to see different sveikas about the time, of this, all these types of things. You know, if there is a safek, nothing wrong. Okay, there's a safek, so do it the next day. So do over here with the Ben Shmona. So if it's fully developed, fine. But if there's any sort of suffix, you can't machal Shabbos. Emalos for the Shabbos. So ain't tzarich lomer Ben Shmona vadai, and it's a suffix whether it's going to live or not live. So therefore, you don't mal on Shabbos. Ve'imhu Ben Sheva vadai. If you look over Sarah Tiparno, malin. So again, the court to feed the medical things nowadays, I don't think they do mila on a premature baby. Upon him, but that's the Fianian. Daled Mila Shlov Zmana. Let's say it's a Shlov Zmana, it was yellow. In a Doicha Shabbos, then even if he turns not yellow, and it's a mitzvah to do it that day, it's not Doicha Shabbos, and you have to wait for the next day. And then Sifhei. Androgynous. So these are all different sfikas of the child. Androgynous is a child which is working from androgynous, meaning that it was born with a deformity.
Androgen. It has both genders.
Yeah, right. Okay, you can say it like that.
That's what the word is.
Androgen. Right. It's a child who has who has both reproductive organs and things, and it's a suffix. Androgynous is a suffix in Chazal. Machlokes actually. Is it both? Is it that it's a suffix zach or suffix nekeva, or I think if Yosi holds it's a mimic neasmo, it's considered a separate
entity,
a separate type of person, and therefore we don't know. So therefore it's a suffix zachar, and it does get mila. Androgynous does get mila, just since we don't know. Maybe he's not really a zachar. It's just this is just some sort of weird appendage or whatever. No, so then we don't mal him on Shabbos.
I don't think you make a bacha.
I don't, probably not. We'll
get there. Okay.
V'nolad ben Shvashos, the child was born ben Shvashos, which is where it gets complicated, whether it's no ben Shvashos on Erev Shabbos or Motzei Shabbos, then we don't mal him. The discussion about, a whole lot of discussions about how long. There are cases where the baby was born, a minute before an Erev Shabbos, or was born Motzei Shabbos a minute before. When do you do? When do you do it, or a minute after, these types of things. A lot of stages involved. Obviously, the posik has to be discussed. There was someone who said, like, went to Rabbi Yashiv, and the baby was born right on the 8th floor in Shari Tzedek, and it was just before it was, I forget, it was everyone said Shabbos, just before Shkia, something like that. And Rabbi Yashiv said, well, because it's on the 8th floor, so the Shkia might be a little bit different. So there's a suffix. These things get becheshbin about how high you are, whatever. And who says he can be somech on a clock? The clock of the hospital. Who says he can rely on it? Who says they're 100% right? And who says even if you have an atomic clock, it's 100% right? We don't know exactly.
Atomic clocks are accurate.
Accurate according to
seconds.
But according to whose measurement? According to the I don't know what the Torah's measurement is. It's accurate. No, I'm saying what because the Torah has different cheshbonos than the scientists have. So therefore, I'm pointing out that we can't say for sure this is the time for whatever. Yes, it's probably the time for Natzio. It's very good. If you do this little Shabbos, I wouldn't rely on the second before, second after an atomic clock. To say that this is the right time, it's not the right time. So therefore, this if any suffix, then we don't do meal on Shabbos. Another kishumol, which means that Moshe Rabbeinu over here. We're talking about the question is he's missing the order. Looks like even when the aver is larger, he looks mahul, even if it's big, so then it's a suffix. So then you do, and still need some milah. You do milah not on Shabbos. It's doifen, cesarean section, because the pasuk says kisazriya b'yaldo zachar, that it has to be a normal birth and not a abnormal birth. And I'll just bring up an interesting discussion. But again, it's more of a theoretical discussion. Shulchan Aruch talks about it is that whether Isha Kisazriya, it's based on the Rebbeinu Chanano says in the Chagiga, there's Amber and Batya, so it's not considered Isha Kisazriya. That woman who was a saber in bathing, that there was conception not a normal way, is not considered Isha Kisazriya, and therefore she has 2 months later, and therefore you wouldn't be allowed to do Milah on Shabbos. And so Rishon Zalman just brings up the issue is that a baby who wasn't conceived naturally through IVF, or it depends on whatever, then he puts a question mark on whether you're allowed to do Milah on Shabbos. Other places can say yes. I'm just bringing this up. Otherwise, I don't think I've ever heard of a model ask the couple. But al Chopanim, there is a discussion in the Paiskim about such a thing. It's an interesting discussion. If there's also Shalom B'Kedusha, then we don't do Milah on Shabbos. Again, another interesting theoretical discussion. Well, Kiveger is a longer richas here about the sheets of Rishonim places. He says places in 4 places about a child from a father's a goy and the mother's Jewish. He's Jewish, but how much? And Taisus is mashma that he is a Jew, but he doesn't have Kedushas Yisrael. This is the way the Nesivos in Ibn Ezer Sifdalid explains it, that he doesn't have Kedushas Yisrael, still yichus to the goy, and he still needs Tvila to be considered a full Jew. Now again, he ever asked, well, why doesn't I bring it up over here? I said, we don't paskin like that. He has an interesting arichas over here, but there are a lot of achronim throughout different things which are b'siachis to it. L'maisa, we're not machmir for it. I did see a tshuva of Ramesha does sort of mention that there were people who were machmir to do tefillah l'chumra, but again, this is not halacha l'maisa. This is more theoretical.
You would get a bris on Shabbos.
So yeah, Kirigah says we like. So you see, we do a bris on Shabbos. I'm bringing up the issue because it's interesting. These are interesting ideas. Which are brought up.
But even if you're saying that shita is not enough to create a suffix to prevent Milah B'Shabbos.
That's what Kidiger asks the kasha, and he says it's not. Ein Sham, he brings it up. Mishi Yeshel Shtei Arelos, a child who has two Arelos. Because we don't know which one's the Iker. Ein Milah on Doich Shabbos. The Mila is not Doich Shabbos. Va Machshiri Mila she'efer la'aseisan erev Shabbos. Any sort of hachanos for Mila that can do erev Shabbos. Einam Doich Gas Shabbos and not Doich Shabbos. The Fichach Im Lo Hevi Israel Mila erev Shabbos. If he didn't, if the Moel forgot to, he has to go up to a house and he's got his tools there. Lo Yavin on Shabbos. He can't carry it with him on Shabbos. Even let's say nowadays it's a Carmelist, or nowadays it's a Carmelist, we're not matter it. Shevidu Chachamim Divrayim. Said the Chachamim said the Carmelists not just like, okay, yeah, it's a Carmelist, it's a big deal. They were very strong on it. They're very, they said it's very, we're making a strong zera here, and it can't just be mekel stam. You're allowed to tell a goy to go get it. If it's something which only to get the things to be only in this Rabbanan unless they're carrying to a Carmelist. Or he could go do it. If this is the Raisa, you can't ask a goy to do it. So the question is, what do you do if Taka he forgot, or I don't know, whatever. That the Maisa is that he does bring. Mishabur brings a Harvey poskim are makel, especially nowadays is over Shesarabim, and there are many poskim who are makel. People want to sell mechana mekilin to ask the goy, whatever. Yesham amil in this book, so obviously the shayla should be asked. Whatever. I know that the mole doesn't go to a house and check if he's yellow on Shabbos. Also,
he doesn't check.
I don't on Shabbos. I don't think so. Zayin lahayel kamon shachul be'er Shabbos.
What does that mean? To check before he does the milah?
No, to check and see if the baby can have a milah. I'm saying, I guess he doesn't have his tools there. He walks to someone's house. I'm just pointing out that he won't go to someone's house. Oh wait, I left my stuff over here. Whatever. I don't think they check and see. They don't check on Shabbos to see if the baby he can have a bris today. But I don't know 100%. That I was just, whatever. I was just bringing up a point that I think I've prepared for Shabbos. I don't know 100%. If he doesn't have, the medicines he needs ground up or whatever, he can't do tchina on it. And lo is b'shina, that he should just chew it. In lo erev me'esmo yain b'shemen litelav, he didn't mix wine and shemen before to put on a lo yarvin hayom. He shouldn't mix it during the day when you mix it as it goes. Obviously, if a child worried about infection, anything like that, you do normal refuah, but these are different things they used to do.
What's wrong with mixing wine and oil?
So that's the shayla. If you tarif it together, it's an issue of lush. And if you mix oil and water together and you tarif it with a spoon together, is a shayla of lush.
Both liquids. How's that lush?
No, because you are mixing. It's lush derabbanan. So it's
you're not mixing. But you're not mixing. The chiddush is you're not mixing it to eat. You're mixing it as
medicine.
I was asking for whether it's refuah. You're saying no. It's a problem.
No, this is a refuah. Yeah, it's not. No, but some of this discussion by in Hilchos Lush is also discussing. I don't know.
I think we had.
I think
when it came to achila, it was not considered lush.
It's not considered lush.
No gershon.
No, if you tarif it chazak, they talk about it. But I don't know what.
Depending on what the two liquids were, but whatever.
Yeah.
We'll
okay. Listen to the pasture, and I don't know. Yeah. But it is. You're right. It is a shayla. I don't know.
But here in Vadai, it's definitely the chiddush is that it's for medicine. It's not for eating.
Right. That could be the Ramachar, medicine. In Eisin La Chaluk, Ela Korech Aleh Smartut. You can't put make some sort of keys for it or whatever, but you wrap a smartut around it, you wrap a bandage around it. Korech Aleh Tzbol Derech Malbush. The Shalosh Derech Hoitzah B'chol. If you can't, then you can go ahead and you can wrap it on your finger to do Hotzah. Or maybe Derech Hotzer Acherish Afilo Lishtat V'yachad, even if even wasn't arid, but if you're missing bandages, you can wrap it, the gauze, whatever it is, you can wrap it on the finger, take it, or his hand, take it there, haitzah.
If you can go to the end, and if not, then
fine. If they have Mila, time of the Gemara, they didn't wash the baby before Mila. Lachar Mila, b'yom hashlishi, the Mayim Kanahayim, the Sukkon, it was dangerous to wash. The shaila is what happens on the third day. You need to wash in warm water. The discuss in Chazal what you need to do. Obviously, the different things change, and we don't do rechitza. There's no special day of bathing the baby on the third day. So therefore, whatever the klal is, if it needs to be done. The bit washing, you could easily wash the baby completely, which obviously washing the area needs to be done. It can be done. On Shabbos they wash in warm water and stuff, water which was heated up before. And after the meal on Shabbos they wash him. That they have to wash him. I don't know, whatever the reason is. That for the refuah, then you should heat up water from the day before. So the Shabbos, if you can do rechitza on Shabbos, that's in general. If you're worried about some sort of sakana, if you don't wash him off, whatever it is, obviously any sakana you're allowed to whatever you need. Baby who had a mila is considered sakana if you see something's going wrong. Anyone who's say someone becomes Baal Tshuva and he gets mila, does not do it on Shabbos. If he had mila once, then he's allowed to do mila on Shabbos. Even if he's the father of the child, these are all getting into other. You can expand it upon in Dinei Mila, but this is the end of Yom Shabbos.
oh yeah.